You're listening to the Why Boarding School podcast, broadcasting around the world. Join us as we promote independent boarding schools throughout the United States and Canada with our invited guests. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jeffrey Quebec.
Welcome to the Why Boarding School podcast. I'm Jeff Quebec, and today I'm joined by the Director of Recruiting and Enrollment at Bridgton Academy in North Bridgton, Maine, Jayson Paré. Welcome, Jayson. It's great to have you here today.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for having me on.
So Bridgton Academy certainly has a rich history dating back to 1808 when it used to be a four-year school. Today, Bridgton is a very unique school serving those young men who are looking for a one-year postgraduate or PG environment to prepare for college. In addition, there's also an opportunity at Bridgton for those two-year students who are looking to complete their high school diplomas, as well as spending a postgraduate year at the academy. So Jayson, perhaps you can start off by giving our audience a brief overview of the number of students at Bridgton Academy, where the students come from, etc.
Yeah. We're usually in the 150 range, give or take. So we probably fluctuate between 140 and 160 students. We like the 150. It's kind of our sweet spot. This year, we have students from 18 different states throughout the United States and 8 different countries. So.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. And so obviously with Bridgton Academy being unique, being a PG school, what's the academic curriculum like at Bridgton Academy?
Yeah, it is geared towards mostly those kids that have graduated high school, moving on and looking to get ready for the college preparatory world. And so we will have, for some students who need to have a high school curriculum, we have classes for those students, especially if they're seniors. But we also offer what we call the college articulation program, where we offer 12 different classes that are dual enrollment with select universities and colleges that we have agreements with that allow us to dual enroll a student, have the opportunity to transfer credits when they leave Bridgton. So we have 12 programs. Some of them, we have, I'm trying to think of composition, creative writing, statistics, calculus, accelerated calculus, genetics, graphic design, psychology, nutrition, things like that we offer that are college. So we've had alumni that have left here and been able to transfer 24 credits onto their college. So give them a jump start. So,
that is awesome.
Not only do they prepare here and get ready for college, but they can actually get a leg up and help them.
Seems like more than a leg up. Seems like a huge opportunity to arrive as a college freshman and have those sort of credits under your belt already. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the biggest advantages that we have for the college prep is, allowing those students to come in with a little more structure, a little more support than you receive in college, but you can still get those college credits. So,
and certainly if they have those college credits already, it's probably nice to be able to enter as a freshman and have maybe a little bit of a lighter course load to start off and be able to transition to the college ranks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Jayson, can you talk a little bit about the academic support that Bridgton Academy offers?
Yeah, so academic support is again a main focus that we have here at Bridgton Academy. We have a writing lab, a math lab. We also have what we call a focused academic coaching program. So that is to help students with those executive functioning skills, where they really get to work in a supportive structure with a dedicated, focused one-on-one academic support. So again, executive functioning skills in young men that are developing, it's huge. We hear it over and over again. And again, where we're just a postgraduate school, we get to focus on these things, knowing exactly what these young men need. We've been doing it as a postgrad for almost over 70 years. And so we are the premier leaders in postgraduate. We know exactly what they need. We're designed for it. And everyone here in our faculty knows what to do to help these young men. So again, we're looking to enhance their skills, fill their toolbox so they can take that toolbox onto college and utilize the skills they learn here to be successful.
Oh, that's great. And can you tell me a little bit about the arts offerings at Bridgton?
Yeah, so we do offer a couple of arts. We have things that they can take in. we have a wide range of classes, right? So we do have some arts. I mean, we'll go into graphic design. We have a green screen. We have a podcast room. So there's a lot of different things that we can do here, and get them ready again.
Very nice, very nice. And Jayson, perhaps are there any special signature programs that are offered at Bridgton?
I would say our signature programs are our CAP classes. So those are a lot of the students are coming in, are interested in those CAP classes. They're looking to get the college credits. So I would say those are usually the things that students are most interested in.
And how about the athletics at Bridgton Academy? What are some of the offerings for students there?
So we have 6 major sports that we offer here. I have to go by season to remember them usually, but so in the fall we have soccer and football. In the winter we have hockey and basketball, and then in the spring it's baseball and lacrosse. But those sports are predominantly being played year round. A lot of them are not in leagues. So baseball, we played a 22-game fall schedule, playing in showcase tournaments. Lacrosse played some early games in the fall, so they were playing in some showcase tournaments. We played Navy Prep for homecoming. So most of our sports are going year round. Hockey has probably the longest season. They're on ice almost as soon as they walk on campus here. Yeah. So, and again, they're playing in showcase tournaments and traveling. And our sports are geared towards helping young men get visibility. The way the college recruiting landscape has changed so much with the transfer portal, high school students aren't really getting the attention because schools are looking at the transfer portal first and investing in students that have spent a couple of years. So it's getting harder and harder for the high school seniors to get exposure. So we'll transfer. Our football team plays on college campuses on Sundays. We strategically do that so that the college coaches can come watch their own JV teams. We typically play their JV schedule. So we play their JV teams on their college campus so their coaches can look at our guys and their own guys. We do a showcase in December where we rent a facility in Massachusetts and we do our own pro day. So we had 80 coaches last weekend show up for a workout just to see our guys. Basketball and soccer are the only 2 programs that we play in a league. So we play in the NEPSAC. And so for those 2 programs, we follow the NEPSAC rules and what we're able to do for them. But we do a very high level NCAA-like college atmosphere here. So we have our own hockey rink. Our baseball field is incredible. It's a turf infield, grass outfield with a regular dirt mound. So, or I should say clay. So it's a pretty unique environment. Great turf for our teams that play on the turf, and basketball the court is pretty much just for basketball. So, and a great weightlifting facility for all of them to utilize. And we have 2 athletic trainers. We have a strength and nutrition coach that can help with the athletic team. So high-level athletics when you come into Bridgton Academy. And we have students that will go in all directions. Some will go from Division III to Division I, and some will decide, hey, maybe I don't want to be this involved in athletics in college. So they play here and decide, hey, I'm going to go on to college, but maybe I'm going to play in intramurals or club sports because I don't want to dedicate this much time. So they get to find that out here of what it takes to be a college athlete. And some students decide that's not for them, which is okay with us.
So I assume that your coaches, in addition to being outstanding recruiters, are probably quite well versed and connected to the college coaches as they look to help showcase the Bridgton student athletes and help them find homes at the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things. Our coaches really have 3 main functions, right? So yes, they're recruiting students in, then they're coaching them during the season, but then their main function afterwards is help with placement. And so a lot of our practices are all have video. So we're working with the guys, the coaches are helping them make their own highlight reels, getting them connected with coaches, helping with the recruiting process. And they have a lot of connections that they've had, right? So, our coaches have been here. We have some coaches. Our basketball coach has been here 28 years. So won national titles, has connections at all levels. So it's pretty easy for them to connect the students with prospective colleges and give the colleges good feedback of what's a good fit for them. we talk with that is, I will say, it's one of the biggest things we talk about is what's the right fit for our young men. We have a college counselor, but we're constantly talking about the right fit.
So Jayson, in addition to the strong athletic program that the students have ability to participate in, can you tell me a little about the outdoor program offered at Bridgton Academy?
Yeah, so we'll have students that are here for just the academics. They're not playing sports, and we have tons of extracurricular activities. We have a Wolverine program, experiential outdoors. Because of where we are in Western Maine, we have access to the great outdoors, right? So we have hiking. We're on Long Lake, which is 11 miles long. We have our own private beach, so guys can go swimming, fishing, canoeing, kayaking, paddleboarding. We have access to Pleasant Mountain, which is 15 minutes away. So all of our guys get to ski and snowboard for free in the winter. They can get free equipment if they've never done it. They can get lessons. We have a golf course 5 minutes away that lets our young men play for free. Again, we've gone mountain climbing. We've gone whitewater rafting. So we have a lot of things that the guys can do. So our Wolverine program is pretty popular. Kids like it. And we're always trying to keep them busy as part of the student life here.
That's great. So we're going to take a quick break, Jayson. And when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation in regards to what it's like to be a Bridgton Academy Wolverine.
Do you have any questions or guests that you'd like to see on an upcoming Why Boarding School podcast? You can contact us directly through our website at whyboardingschool.com. Now, back to our show.
Welcome back to the Why Boarding School podcast. I'm Jeff Quebec, and I'm joined by the Director of Recruiting and Enrollment from Bridgton Academy in North Bridgton, Maine, Jayson Paré. And Jayson, as we continue our conversation about Bridgton Academy, can you share with our audience what is a typical school day like at Bridgton?
Yeah, so our school day will emulate a college schedule. So our students will take 4 classes. They're going to be spread out Monday through Friday. So what we design is they're going to have free time throughout the week. And so what we're looking for is to help teach them how are they going to utilize that free time, just like college, right? So you don't go to school from 8 to 2 or 8 to 3 in college. Sometimes our guys won't have class in one day until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And so they're usually having, I would say, between 2 to 4 classes a day over those 5 days. And this is where we are still a prep school where Wednesdays, everybody's done by noon. So if there's athletic teams traveling, but in the winter, it's great because all our guys get to go ski or snowboard in the afternoon on Wednesdays. So
very nice.
Like noon after lunch, we're out on hill. But yeah, the schedule is, again, we'll have guys that will go use that free time, go to the writing labs, math labs, seek out teachers. We have an X blocks where nobody has a class, but all the teachers are in their classroom that are accessible for students to come get extra help. What we want to do again is teach them that during that free time in college, you need to do something productive to help yourself, right? And so it could be getting an extra workout in the gym. It could be going to the field to get some work, going on the hockey rink, whatever they're looking to do. But again, the whole idea is do something that's productive, learn how to utilize that free time and set yourself up for success going forward, right? So whatever that is, and that's the beauty of Bridgton is guys come in here looking to make their situation better for various reasons. And then how do you utilize that free time around the classrooms? Each class is about 50 minutes long, but everyone is done by 2:50.
And then I assume in the afternoon, that's when they get involved in the sports. The classes are over.
So practice will start right after. Yep. So we'll go from practice around 3:15 till about 5:15 or so. And then we'll have dinner, study hall. They'll have some free time after dinner. We have study hall Sunday through Thursdays. So from 8 to 9:30, there's study hall. And then after that, they have free time again, which a lot of guys will go get some ice time, get some shooting, get some workouts. We have dorm check. Here's where a little prep school like, where we'll have a dorm check at 10:45. but we're more college-like where we don't have a lights out period or anything like that. So the guys have to learn how to manage that time. And are they staying up late? Are they doing work? Making sure that they get enough sleep so they can be ready for the next day. So
you would assume with such a busy day and so many activities, they're probably pretty tired anyways.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the guys I've heard are some people are woke up by dorm checks, and some are fast asleep and never hear dorm checks, and then others are night owls and they stay up a little bit later. So everybody's a little unique, and that's the beauty of Bridgton too. Is we don't try to make everybody fit into a square. It's what works for you, and you have to learn how to manage that.
How about the weekends at Bridgton Academy? I know you mentioned a lot of the different outdoor activity offerings with the outing club, but what takes place on the weekend? Are there events on campus, different clubs, different activities, maybe trips off campus? What does that look like?
Yeah, all of the above. So we haven't, a lot of the times we call them open weekends. So if students have a car on campus, the cars are locked away for the week, but on Friday afternoon, they're unlocked and guys can take their cars, and they just have to alert their dorm or their advisor or their dorm parent that they're going to be leaving and when they're planning to come back. So a guy could leave on Friday after class, say, I'm going to come back Sunday for study hall, and that's all they need to tell us. They can go home, they can go off and do things. For students who aren't traveling and stay on campus, we always have activities, like I said. So with, big activities that we have are, we always have golf when the golf course is open. Skiing is always going on. We'll have activities. We'll have volunteer activities that people can sign up for. We have runs too. Right now, it's into the town to go to the grocery store or go shopping. So we'll have vans and activities that are spreading out. We do things like dorm wars, just like, other prep schools. And, we've done some tournaments, some cornhole tournaments. But yeah, there's always activities that are going on. So the students that are staying, because we do have international students that don't leave, they're here,
Sure.
They don't have a vehicle. So it's always important that we have things going on for them. And whoever has weekend duty is announced on Thursday to the guys in our advisory and, our campus-wide meeting that we call chapel. So in chapel, they're told what the weekend schedule is. We'll have sign-ups for people to go. We could be going, again, we could have like a rock climbing excursion. We could have, an escape room set up for them, or, an activity like whitewater rafting or hiking or anything like that. So there's always activities that we're looking to help them with.
Sounds like there's definitely no shortage of activities in the weekend. Lots of fun things to do.
Yeah, no. I will say there's always a McDonald's late run on Saturday.
There you go. That's awesome. Yeah. So speaking about that, food, the all-important question, especially for young adolescents, as they're growing to become an adult and they're growing up, and food is always important. What are the meals like at Bridgton Academy? Are they served sit down? Are they buffet? Are they required? How does that work?
Yeah, no, it's a buffet style. Matter of fact, I'm like in myself doing the college 15 here. I'm going back to salads, but the food is great. There's a lot of options. They do a good job for these young men. Again, we have a lot of athletes here, so we're really trying to give them nutritious meals, but also giving them, because they're exerting so much energy, right? They need a carb. They need their carbs. They need their protein. So there's always things in their meal prep that's geared around nutrition. So we have we're gonna have a buffet style with hot plates people could choose from, and then we have a pretty large salad and cold cuts, and then we'll have proteins as well. So there's always usually chicken or steak in there that's cold. So guys will make wraps or salads. We have a panini press that kids will make paninis out of. So you kind of get your choice. Sometimes you got to look around and you got to say, okay, what am I doing today? Am I doing a hot plate, or am I going over to the salad bar and making something from there? And so again, when you're going to have 160 people, there's going to be something that somebody doesn't like. And so you got to have options, which is what we do a good job with.
That's great. So Jayson, how about dorm life? What's dorm life like at Bridgton Academy?
Yeah, so again, dorm life, all of our students are boarding students. So everyone here is a boarding student. Again, everything we do with a purpose. So all of our students are selected to have a roommate that is a teammate if they're playing a sport. If they're going to be in a Wolverine program, they'll be with the Wolverine. So they'll have somebody that they're going to be associated with, they're going to get acclimated with. Our Dean of Students does a great job. He reads all of everyone's incoming applications and tries to match them up with a good match. But then the rest of the dorm is going to be spread out with different programs. So different Wolverines, different athletes, so that the dorms have a good mix in them and the students get to know everyone here. Because we have that great advantage of having all 17, 18, and 19-year-old men here, they're all kind of on the same level. And so dorms, it's funny because each dorm will tell me that their dorm is the best. And it's because of the relationships they build with those students. So in the dorm, there's a common area where they'll hang out and they have things to do. We also have, right outside their dorm, we have a den where they can go in and it's their space. It's got pool hall, it's got ping pong tables, TVs, game console setups. It's got pinball. Golden Tea is in there, which I'm glad guys have a good time with. But again, the dorms are all right next to each other. So the guys will bounce around all the dorms because, again, by integrating all the different programs, Wolverine and athletics, they get to meet the other teammates of other sports, right? Because they're integrated with all the different programs. And so as the season goes on, they start to bounce around each other's dorms and build great connections. And that's kind of the beauty of Bridgton, when you have all young men in the same age group that are all dedicated to making a year about growth. It creates a pretty special environment. And that dorm life is a big part of that.
Is there an advisor system for the young men at Bridgton Academy?
So each student will be given an advisor and a college counselor, and then they have a dorm parent. So there's a lot of contact here outside of their teachers and their, even if they go into the academic coaching and their academic coaches and things like that. So there's a lot of interaction. 95% of our faculty live on campus, and they dedicate that 9 months to these young men. And so everyone's accessible for these young men because we know, this is a huge year for them.
And I assume with the college counseling office, they must have to work closely with you and admissions and the admissions staff, especially upon not only the acceptance, but the enrollment of the student, as they really have got to get moving on that process.
Yeah, because we only have them for 1 year,
Exactly.
right? So, yes, we're looking at transcripts on the way in, analyzing and making sure that we can help them with placement going to the next level. So they're involved in that process. And then as soon as a student steps on campus, they know who their college counselor is the day they show up. And they usually start having meetings in the first week or two. Students will dictate how often they will meet. So obviously, if a student hasn't initiated, the college counselor will. But I hear that they're usually they're meeting. If it's not weekly, it's every other week at the beginning of the year. And then as the season goes on, they're meeting probably weekly. And the coaches play a part in that. So our college counselors will talk with our coaches as well. So if a student is an athlete and they're looking to play at the next level, that's part of the equation. We're looking at, what are the interests that you have academically? Or if you're looking to play, are the schools that you're looking at, are you going to be able to play? Or is it something that, hey, the right fit academically might mean you not playing for 2 to 3 years. So again, what's the most important thing to you, right? And so a big part of what we're doing is academics going to be the main part of what you should be doing, because the rest of your life, your playing career comes to an end at some point, right? And so you got to focus and make sure you're going to a place that's going to be a right fit for you. I'll tell you, we had a young man that came in, talked to college counseling and said, I want to play Division I soccer. That was what his goal was coming in last year. Came in with decent grades. He graduated with a 4.0 when he left here, had some college level courses, got an offer from Trinity and decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to go play Division III soccer because I'm going to get an education from Trinity. And so those are the types of conversations that both our college counselors and our coaches are having with these young men, is to say, what is a right fit for you?
That's great. And I also assume that your college counseling office and your coaches are pretty well versed in the NCAA clearinghouse and the process behind that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we just had a young man who is going to Florida to play for the Gators. And so constantly when players are looking to play in the NCAA, level and going Division I, that's a big part of what they're doing, is to making sure it comes even down to, class schedule, course, what courses are going to take at the beginning of the year. So both the academics, the college counselors, and the coaches are looking at their schedule and making sure like what their goals are, we can help them achieve. So that we're not finding out later. If Division I is a prospect, an option, then right from the get-go, when they arrive here, we know that through the recruiting process. And then we're looking at their course load to make sure that we can help them achieve that and that they're going to be eligible.
That's great. So Jayson, would you say, is there a typical Bridgton Academy student?
Yes. It's going to be, it's a young man who needs another year of growth before they go off to college. That's our typical. But I mean, to get a little depth there, yeah, we're looking at, usually it's always young men who maybe just don't feel like they're really ready for college. They could be graduating at 17 and feel like they're young and they're not quite ready. Or the other part we hear a lot of students is that they didn't feel like they got enough exposure athletically in high school. And so they're coming here for the athletic exposure. And the beauty is they find out about the student life and the academics when they get here. And the athletics is just organically going to happen. So we're really good at our athletic side, but people find out when the students find out how good our academics are, how much they can help themselves, how much our our academic coaching and our academic support center is. Those are the things that the students aren't really expecting when they get here, and they come out usually saying like, never really expected this place to help me as much as they did.
Well, it's interesting, Jayson, you mentioned like a 17-year-old high school graduate. And certainly as you look at the average age of college freshmen across all different sports, all different disciplines, I think nowadays it's so much older. And so I would imagine for those young men to have that extra year of growth and maturity and development, both in the classroom and also, in the playing surface, there's some huge benefits there as they look to matriculate on and, hopefully and potentially be a college student athlete.
Yeah. I mean, we can help students in all aspects, and that's the tough part, is like trying to tell you all the nuances of what we do in admissions and looking at students who are right fits. But it could be somebody who started slow in high school, right? So their grades maybe suffered in their first couple of years, and so they're really looking to help with their transcript and have another year to show that continued growth to a college, right? So if they're on an upward trajectory, that's great. But even getting here and then saying, okay, I can continue that. Maybe I can take some college level courses and show a school like I'm ready for this. It's huge for these young men.
Yeah, certainly no need to rush the process, right?
Right. We all grow up fast,
Exactly.
Right, Jeff?
So Jayson, are there any quote unquote cool traditions at Bridgton Academy that may be unique from other schools, or perhaps there's that one tradition that you hope always remains part of Bridgton Academy?
Well, I think it's not so much we don't have anything from a traditional of like you get like a pin or anything like this. I think what we're known for, and I talked to an alumni who's a basketball coach at a high school, a private Catholic school, and I was talking to him and a student that he wanted me to meet. And when I was talking about our atmosphere and the sense of community that we build, because everybody lives on campus here, 95%, the students are here, they're here for this one dedicated year. They're all about the same level of maturity, dedication, focus. They know they have 1 year to try to help themselves. It creates this unique environment that you really can't replicate. And I remember when I was talking to this young man about it, the coach, who's an alumni from 94, stopped me in the middle of it, and he said to the young man, he goes, I'm going to tell you something. He goes, I've never been able to replicate the sense of community and family as I did at that 1 year at Bridgton. He goes, there's nothing like, he goes, I can't explain it to you. You have to experience it. He goes, the closeness, how tight the community is, how much everybody cares for you, because our faculty knows that we're here to help these young men go on to be successful, and we only get 9 months with them. So there's this dedication and this focus both by the guys and by our faculty that creates this unique environment that is something special. And I think that's really, when you talk about tradition, that's what we are known for, right? That's why our slogan is the year that makes the difference, because it's such a unique environment, and it's so great, and the relationships are so strong. We had a Hall of Fame induction where we had guys from the class of 57 here.
That's great.
And there were 5 of them that showed up, and they were telling stories. And I was like, those stories would be similar stories to what you'd hear from 2-3 years ago. So that tradition has really passed on, and it's that relationship. And think about it, the class of 57, they were talking weekly, they said. They still talk weekly.
That's pretty special. And certainly those stories are outstanding for prospective students and their families to hear. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, and that is, I would say, the secret to Bridgton is the level of friendships and family that you'll build here. It goes with you for the rest of your life.
I think it's also a true testament, a proud testament for Bridgton Academy, the alums staying connected and caring about so much about the school and their experience, being passionate about it and willing to share that story with others.
Yeah. I'll tell you another funny story. I was driving down through Massachusetts. I had a Bridgton car all logoed out, and I'm driving through traffic, and I can hear somebody honking, and I look to my left, and there's a guy waving to me.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Right? I don't know who he is,
Sure.
but I remember thinking to myself, it's got to be an alumni.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As long as you didn't cut him off, though. All right.
No, it was a good wave.
Good stuff. All right. It wasn't the bird. That's a good thing.
No, actually, I got a wave and a thumbs up.
Nice.
So I was like, definitely an alumni.
Nice. So, Jayson, before we discuss admissions, is there anything about Bridgton Academy that we didn't discuss today that you'd like to mention?
I think we've covered a good bulk of it.
Right.
I mean, a lot of the questions that I get from families, if we're going to talk about admissions, is financial aid and things like that. But
Perfect.
I think you want to talk about that.
Yeah, sure. So, Jayson, if someone's interested in Bridgton Academy, how might they go about starting the admissions process?
Yeah, the best process is go to our website, and we have a request information. That gets you into our system, so we can send you off some information about Bridgton, and then we'll follow up with admissions counselor. We'll follow up with them. We like to have students come visit us. If they aren't able to visit us, we usually like to do like video calls like this so we can get to know the students and the families. Once somebody knows that they want to apply, we have an easy application right on our website. They can do the Bridgton application, or they can do the standard application. So if they're applying to several prep schools, we utilize a standard application as well. So it's just a click of a button to add us. We require 3 recommendations: a character, a math, and an English recommendation. They're up-to-date high school transcript. And then if they want to fill out financial aid, right on our website, there's a link to our financial aid. And we do a need-based financial aid and merit scholarship system. So we're looking at really helping families who need assistance and maybe cannot afford the full tuition, and so we have that available for them as well.
And Jayson, what is the website address for Bridgton Academy?
The website is bridgtonacademy.org.
Perfect. bridgtonacademy.org. Well, Jayson, this has been great. I've enjoyed our conversation. It's been nice to learn more about Bridgton Academy and share that with our audience here today. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you. Jayson Paré, Director of Recruiting Enrollment, Bridgton Academy in North Bridgton, Maine.
Thank you for listening to the Why Boarding School podcast. We look forward to you joining us for our next episode. Please remember to subscribe to the Why Boarding School podcast and help us spread the word. Until next time.